first glance, this is a battle. Horses collide, lances cross the air, armor fills almost every inch of the panel. But look down, at the very bottom of the painting. On the pale pink ground, the broken lances are not scattered randomly. They form lines, clean lines, almost too clean. And once you notice them, the whole battlefield starts to look less like a real fight and more like a strange mathematical trap. This is Paolo Uccello's The Battle of San Romano, one of the most dazzling battle images of the early Renaissance. Yet, the mystery is not who wins. The mystery is why a scene of violence looks so carefully arranged, so decorative, almost like a stage. Why would Uccello turn broken weapons into a perspective grid? The panel shows Niccolò da Tolentino, the Florentine commander, riding into battle on a white horse. He wears a red and gold hat instead of a helmet, which already makes him look less like a man in danger and more like a ceremonial hero. Around him, soldiers clash, horses rear, and lances point in every direction. But Uccello does something unusual. He makes the foreground feel strangely calm. The chaos is above. The order is below. Look again at those broken lances. They lie on the ground like measuring sticks. Some run diagonally into the picture. Others cut across the foreground. Together, they act like orthogonals, lines that guide the viewer's eye toward depth. In a normal battle, fallen weapons would be disorder. Here, they become architecture. Uccello seems to be using destruction as a ruler. That matters, because perspective was one of the great obsessions of 15th century Florence. Artists were learning how to build convincing space on a flat surface, using geometry instead of instinct. For Uccello, this was not just a tool, it was almost the subject of the painting. The battle gives him the perfect excuse to fill the ground with straight objects, angles, bodies, armor, and foreshortened forms. The broken lances are not background clutter. They are the secret machinery of the image. But this is where the painting becomes even stranger. If the lances try to pull us into deep space, the background does almost the opposite. Behind the riders, the landscape rises like a decorated curtain. The orange trees, flowers, hedges, and distant hills do not open into a natural horizon. They climb upward, flattening the scene. So the painting seems to do two contradictory things at once. The foreground says, "Enter this space," while the background says, "This is a tapestry." And that contradiction may be the key. Uccello was not painting war as a reporter. This panel was created years after the Battle of San Romano, which took place in 1432, and it seems more interested in celebrating Florence than in showing the confusion of actual combat. The victory becomes elegant, controlled, almost courtly. The broken lances help turn the battlefield into a display of order. Florence does not simply win. Florence imposes structure on chaos. There is another possibility as well. The lances may reveal Uccello's personal obsession more than the historical battle itself. Later stories about him present him as an artist fascinated by perspective to an almost excessive degree. Whether or not those stories exaggerate, the painting supports the idea visually. Everything important is tested against geometry: the horse's body, the armor on the ground, the tilted weapons, even the fallen forms. It is as if Uccello is asking whether mathematics can make sense of something as unstable as war. And yet, the answer is not simple. The lances create order, but they also feel artificial. They make the battlefield look like a board game. The horses seem almost wooden. The knights resemble figures in a tournament pageant. This is not the raw reality of battle. It is war transformed into spectacle, beautiful, controlled, and slightly unreal. That unreal quality may also explain why the painting is so memorable. Uccello gives us two experiences at the same time. From a distance, we see a heroic Florentine triumph. Up close, we see a puzzle made of fragments, the very objects that should suggest collapse. Snapped shafts, fallen armor, abandoned pieces become the things that hold the composition together. So the hidden detail is not hidden because it is small, it is hidden because it looks ordinary. A few broken lances on the ground, but they change everything. They tell us that this painting is not only about a battle between Florence and its enemies, it is also about a battle between chaos and order, between Gothic decoration and Renaissance geometry, between what happened and how power wanted it to be remembered. And now return to the bottom of the painting one last time. Follow those pale shafts as they cross the ground. Are they simply the debris of war? Or are they Uccello's quiet confession that what fascinated him most was not the victory, not the commander, not even the soldiers, but the impossible dream of turning a battlefield into perfect perspective? What do you think? Did Uccello use geometry to reveal the truth of war or to hide it?